Alrighty, 12-4, box plots. It's actually box and whisker plots, technically. What I'm really looking at here, just to give you kind of an idea, is it's not a very creative name. It's a box that looks like this, with whiskers that stick off to the sides. That's it. They come in different sizes. They can look like this. And each of the different shapes and things give us some different idea about the data. Before the actual discussion, though, box and whisker plots, I need to talk about what are called quartiles. Quartiles. And that's data separated into 4 equal parts. There's your definition right there. And what I've done is to steal the example straight out of the book. And if I take the data, so here's a set of data of numbers. I don't know what they represent. I think they're coming from out of the book, average monthly temperatures or something like that. But anyway, we cut it into 4 equal parts, not based on the distance, but based on the numbers themselves. Once we place them in order, smallest to biggest. And again here, if there's repeats of numbers, we list those twice. So again, quartiles cutting into 4 equal parts. We have a median, we'll talk about that. Quartile 1, quartile 3, minimum and maximum. The interquartile range, this is not a term, it actually kind of shows up, it doesn't show up in the other class, this is in your class here though, kind of important. That's from quartile 1 to quartile 3. So this chunk in here is the interquartile range. Quartile 1 to quartile 3, or quartile 3 to quartile 1 if you're going, backwards, whatever. Box and whisker plot is a graphical representation of the median, upper quartile, lower quartile, and extreme values. Steps are pretty straightforward. Arrange the data in order from least to greatest. Find the minimum, maximum, and median. Find the first quartile and third quartile. Plot below a number line. That's the important piece. Don't just plot it below the numbers themselves because they'll all look even and perfect. You plot it below an actual number line. Now, you might want to pause here real quick if you're not done writing all the words, because I want to give you an example of what that looks like. So I'll give you a second. Go ahead and pause if you're not done writing the words. Okay, so a box and whisker plot looks like this. Notice here we have, again, here's a number line. The minimum of all the numbers, the maximum of the numbers. And if one of those whiskers is like really long, it tells you have an outlier. Just something to note there. Put the median here, and we know how to find the median from the last section. Quartile 1. And quartile 1 is nothing more than the lower median. So I take the lower. So again, that quartile 1 is nothing more than the lower median. Quartile 3 is called the upper median. So here's the idea. I take the lower half of the data, find its median, and that's quartile 1. I take the upper half of the data, find its median, and that's called quartile 3. They're pretty easy to find. I think you probably did it last year. So here we have going through the actual steps. So you have a set of raw data. You put them in order, smallest to biggest. And if there's more than one, you list it anyway. Smallest to biggest. Find the minimum. So that in this case, right here, 303. Minimum. Find the biggest number. That's the maximum. Maximum. Find the median. So you got to count the number of numbers. So right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Notice it's this 314, not a different 314. Right, so it's the actual median right there. And if you didn't have one, you'd have to average the two numbers to find the median. We all know how to do that. Now, finding first and third quartiles. This is kind of important here, so I need you to kind of tune in real good for me. So as we said before, finding the first and third quartile is the first quartile is the lower median. Now, when you do that, when you find the lower median, you leave out the actual median. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me say that again. Leave out the actual median. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. And so it is this one right here. This is going to be our quartile 1. Oh, this is the median here, by the way. I forgot to label that. And then again, find the upper median, same thing. You leave out the actual median. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. So 1, 2, 3. It's this 316. This one right here, and we call that quartile 3. And you've pretty much done 90% of the work right there. Very little work very little effort for setting up a box and whisker plot. Now that we've found those data points that we needed, we go over here and we create a number line. Notice 300, 302, 304, 306, so it's evenly spaced number line. This is 1 by 2s. And we plot the median, right? Put a dot there. Okay? Plot the maximum, put a dot there. Find quartile 1, put a dot there. Quartile 3, put a dot there. Then we draw a box like this. At the actual median, we draw a line in the middle of that box. Then we go and draw a line between the ends of the box and the dots. Same thing over here. And that's it. That's our box and whisker plot right below. Notice I said below a number line. Now, some important information can be gleaned from this. The box represents 50% of the data. The tighter that box is, so the smaller it is, that means that it is the data kind of clusters there, right? Left whisker is 25%, right whisker is 25%. Those whiskers stick out more than one another. You might have an outlier. Not necessarily, but you might have an outlier if they stick way out beyond the box. And all kinds of different shapes and stuff here can happen. Alrighty, so now you've got the lesson for 12.4. We'll go through and make some more box and whisker plots.